What's up, you guys? So today I'm going to walk you through how to do a basic retwist, okay? So this is my first time having this client. As you can see, he has locks and they are very tangled. So the whole purpose of maintaining your locks is to actually train your locks, okay? So with him, he's an athlete. He swims, he play baseball, etc. And okay, so that means he sweat a lot in his head. So that means he needs to shampoo often and detangle often. But because that hasn't been going on, this process was longer than expected, which is okay because we're going to train these locks and we're going to get them together. All right, I'm getting myself prepared to go in and do the work. So I'm going to basically walk you guys through the whole process because I also want to educate you guys on what to do when your hair is in this condition, or if you have a child or anybody that's in this condition and you're you're retwisting their hair basically. So as you can see, I use lock-in gel. That's just one of the gels that I use. So I always start at the back when I do retwists because my whole purpose is to get an overall look. So I always raise the back of the locks and I comb them upwards with a little gel so I can go ahead and get that part smooth and it can look good, in the finishing stage because that's very important to me. Okay, so his locks were matted, so I had to make sure that I part very good around each of those locks without hurting him. It did hurt him because, like I said, they were very matted together. So I had to go in and separate and part as I go. As you can see, I'm parting this one out at the moment. Cleaning it up as much as I can. And then I start my retwist with the comb. And then I take my dominant hand. I'm right-handed. I can write with both hands, but I'm right-handed. I hold the lock with my right hand, and I take my left hand. So I'm basically showing you, I thought I was going to show you. I guess on another one, I'll show you how to do a locksmith. But I'm palm rolling those together. So that's the easy way to do a retwist. So you could just use both of your palms, and then I did a little bit of locksmith. Making the root tight is very important as well when you're doing a retwist. As you can see, I did use the big clip because I want to clip in multiple locks without having so many individual locks because he does have over 90 locks. I know he got over 100 to be exact. So once again, I'm going through and I'm parting the lock out. As you can see, it is kind of tangled, but we getting through it. I'm cleaning up the part, separating. I'm not pulling hair from the next lock at all. I feel like that's very important too. You do not want to hurt the person. You want to separate the lock. You want to clean it up with the comb without pulling hair from the next lock. That's so important. You can actually not only hurt them, but you can mess their hair up as well. So I'm not sure who started his locks, but they started them very small, y'all. So it took me a little minute to get through, which is fine. So I'm going to continue the same process. I am separating the lock by pulling it apart. And also I wanted to drop a little bit information on how we detangle locks. What is the proper way of detangling locks. So you can use Design Essential. I think it's called Bamboo Silk. It's a leave-in conditioner. It's a spray. You will spray it on the locks, and then you will pull the locks apart. And also, you can do another method. Just get a spray bottle, add water, a little bit of conditioner, shake it up very well, and spray it on the locks, and then separate the locks that way as well. As you can see, I'm also showing that I'm not using a lot of gel. I tap the comb with that gel, and you see how much is on there. It's not much at all. You don't need a lot of gel for anybody's hair. All you need is a little bit. A little goes a long way, you guys. I'm telling you, like, a little goes a long way. And I had to learn product usage. So it's a process. You don't need that much. You really don't. And once again, I'm doing the palm roll method. I'm taking both palms and just rolling it to the retwisting to the right. I always retwist to the right. I never retwist to the left. It doesn't make sense for me or anybody that I know to retwist to the left. We retwist to the right. That is the proper way. Once again, taking the comb to start it off, retwisting to the right. And I'm eventually going to show you guys how I do the actual locksmith method as well. So once again, tapping it with the gel, parting it, lock out perfectly. Boom. You do not have to start the retwist with the comb. As you can see, I didn't do it that time. I just literally went in with my palm rolling, and it's perfectly fine. And you want to make the root tight, but not too tight or too uncomfortable for the client. Tight enough where it's an actual good retwist, and the retwist lasts. That's another thing too. You want to do a retwist that's going to last. Okay? So I'm pulling down the locks, the next row that I'm about to start. A little bit of tangling going on, so I'm going through detangling, pulling those locks apart, separating them. And you have to do this while the hair is wet. Sometimes after a shampoo, you may need to go back with your spray bottle and spray the locks and then go ahead and detangle so it could be less tension. And as you can see, I'm separating my locks ahead of time, so that way I won't have to do it while actually doing the retwist, going in, retwisting, parting it, the lock out, cleaning up the part real good. As you can see, palm rolling to the right. I kept it real simple for y'all, but eventually I'm going to show you guys how to properly do the locksmith method. But this is a simple retwist, okay? No stress, real simple, real easy. So I had to slow it down for you guys right here, because this is when I'm actually going to do the locksmith method. So I went on and applied the gel really good, top and bottom, and of course on the side of that lock as well. And then I'm gonna go ahead and part it out as well. As you can see, I slowed it all the way down because I really want you guys to learn this, even though I am going to come back and do a very detailed video about how to do the locksmith method. So, like I said earlier, you're going to use your dominant hand. Okay? So, use your dominant hand to actually hold the lock. Okay? So, I'm parting it out right now. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean. Whatever your dominant hand is, it don't matter if you're left-handed or right-handed. You're going to use your dominant hand to actually hold the lock, and then use your non-dominant hand to, like, rub it backwards, okay? So, no worries if you don't catch on to it this time, because, like I said, I'm going to come back and do, like, a whole detailed video of how to do the locksmith method. I feel like everybody wants to learn that way. I do like the locksmith method, especially like when you're in the process of training locks, or if it's been like a long time since a client had a retwist or a good retwist. Baby, rub that lock down. Do you hear me? Because when you do that palm roll, I mean that well, the palm roll is cool, but that locksmith method is going to pull every piece of hair. Once again, I'm showing you, it's going to pull every piece of hair. That's the motion you do when you pulling that hair back. You're not going to miss anything. And sometimes you have to stay on that lock a little bit longer than expected to make sure that you have every piece of hair wrapped around that lock so it can all look so uniform and all put together, okay? And this is how I came out of the end. He did no style.